So great then, man. Let the train call Twimbit Tales keep rolling, everyone. Thank you, Amisha, Ariman, and Garv for joining us today. And in fact, what's exciting is that the topic for today, in fact, was triggered by Ariman in one of our previous team meetings, right? And it was a real eye-opener for me. Because I'm somebody who's been working in the leadership space, working with people, employee experience, remote work for a while now. But it never occurred to me once that over the past 18 months, people who are just starting their careers, for them, remote work is a remote concept. How the hell would they understand what we are talking about, right? So it was a great learning and an eye-opener for me, Ariman. So thank you for triggering that thought. And thank you all again for being here. So let's get right to it, guys. And what we are talking about today, keep in mind, many of those who've started their careers since 2020, right? A lot of your close friends, your batchmates would be in the same boat. So anything we talk about today, we want to make sure we try to help them through our own experiences, right? So I request you to wear that lens and then let's give our opinions on it. So let's start with Ariman. When you hear just the term remote work, what kind of emotions or thoughts does it trigger in you? What does it mean to you, really?
It generates the same thoughts as the term work gives me, because there is no differentiation, right? And I'll come back to that point where the idea generated from, like, people in the industry, or you maybe have set a comparison of what is working well for you guys. Was it the work from home, or was it the working from office? And I was like, that we cannot even set that comparison. You guys are privileged in a way to define what is better for the working area. So for me, working remotely is similar to working only, because I haven't experienced working from office.
Yeah, I totally get it, man. And Amisha, so since you are going through that similar experience, and you keep hearing about this, that hey, what should companies do to make remote work more exciting? What can we do to institute a hybrid model of work and all those things? What is it that you really miss or not miss about this alternate world which you haven't experienced yet?
I think the two things that I really miss being in this world is connectivity and communication. Like, there isn't that peer-to-peer connect or that face-to-face connect always. We are always in these meetings and everything, but there is some bonding between two colleagues or two employees, I would say. So that has been missing for me. Apart from that, I think what really worked well for me was I was able to manage a lot of things being in this atmosphere, which I wouldn't have been able to done if it was an office thing. Like, you can multitask and do a lot of things working remotely. You can work according to your schedule, according to your timetable. So that has worked really well.
No, you're absolutely right. Actually, even research is showing right now over the past 18 months, these things which you talked about, the actual connect, and the physical proximity. This is what people are missing the most, right? So physical proximity and the ability to water cooler chats, really, where is that opportunity where I can just connect with my peers and colleagues as friends, where we can talk about each other's lives, where we can, discuss, hey, what did you do last evening? Where did you go? Now we don't have those sessions, right? Because like you say, it's about work meetings and it's about getting the agenda done. So yeah, it's a struggle area for companies, So in that sense, that is one thing that you can look forward to, obviously, when the office starts and when you step in that arena, right? Garv, for you, what has it been seamless, this assimilation into the work world, or did you have to go through some internal adjustments for it?
Pasi, I think there's a lot of flexibility while we are working from home, and that in terms bring us into a comfort zone wherein we are tending to do work with our own pace and with our own timings. I think I'm working at 7 or 8 in the night when I feel like. So I don't think so. There's a lot of flexibility while we are working in remote, or well, like when we are working in a particular office, we have the 9 to 5 thing. So I think this is bringing us into a comfort zone, and maybe later on we won't be able to adapt to that situation. I'm not sure about that because we have not been in the same boat. Like we are just starting our journeys with remote working. So I'm not sure how we'll be able to adapt to that situation.
It's a very good point, man. Brilliant point. What do you think, Ariman and Amisha, will be most difficult for you when you go back to office? What is the one behavior of remote world that you will have to break about yourself?
For me, I think most difficult would be getting up and dressing fully, and not just wearing a shirt. And because we are in the habit of wearing a shorts or a pajama underneath, and pants are like still packed up there. So for me, dressing up completely will be difficult.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm that kind too. So I don't want to stand up and show the audience how I'm dressed right now. But I completely understand you, my friend. What about you, Misha? What is that one behavior about yourself you'll have to change?
For me, I think like I'll have to change my timings of working. I generally tend to work really early in the morning, like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So because that is my most productive time, I feel, and going to office at 9 a.m. wouldn't work for me. So that will be a big shift in my mind and in my work times, I would say.
Yeah. So, Garb, let's say, your close friend gets, who's your best friend, Garb?
There are a lot of best friends. I can't name them. They will be watching it, and if I name one specific person, then it's not going to be good for me.
Okay, who's your close friend who's now looking for a job soon?
Okay, so one of my friends, Jashna, he's looking for a job opportunity. Actually, he got into a good company as well. But that too, he's also working remotely, and he's still waiting to get into the office area. And maybe we are not sure when, he's also not sure when he'll be going into that space. So we're all waiting for that.
So you guys, all of you who are in this similar predicament, do you sometimes sit together, talk about these things, or it's just accepted as, this is how life is, this is how work will happen, so it's fine? Or do you actually sit down and talk about, hey, what is this, that different world, I want to go there, I want to experience it, like the grass is always greener on the other side? Do you guys actually have those chats or not?
I think we are having that chat on a daily basis because we need to get out of our hometown. That is the main problem. We are at home with our parents right now, and we don't have the habit because in college we had all the fun that we wanted in those 3 to 4 years. So yeah, we wanted to get out of this space only from our home because we have been sitting here for like 1.5 years almost because of the pandemic after college, and I think we need to get out of this space right now. So we are having that chat on a daily basis.
And for us, the thought is very exciting, but the only thing that is, on the bad side is that we'll have to leave the comfort zone and then we'll have to go to the office. But the thought is really exciting to be there and have water cooler chats.
Yeah, I think the thing you said, that grass is always greener on the other side, I totally relate to it, because a few days back I was having a chat with one of my friends, and she is working in an office. So she was like, I really want to remote work, I want to work from home, I don't want to work here. Like, if my company gives me work from home, it would be so nice. So I think it is always the other thing is better. We always feel that.
Yeah, that's how life. That's the nature of life, right? You will always seek what you don't have, right? When my first job, I say my first job in the corporate world, um, in National Semiconductor Corporation back in the Silicon Valley, right? And we had to go to office every day. I used to cycle to work, uh, but man, I had those same dreams which you guys are saying. Why can't I work from home? What is this? Why do I have to go to office every day, right? Because I wasn't very efficient in office. I wouldn't get a lot of things done. I was very social. It was a big organization. I had a lot of friends. So go get there in the morning, first hour and a half is socializing, having a coffee here, coffee there, talking to people. Then, for lunch, you are planning with your friends, hey, where do you want to go for lunch today, right? So for me, it was dreaming about the alternate world at that point. And now, when I experience them both, when it first happened, this complete shift to remote work, initially it brought a wave of happiness to all of us, right? That, now I have my time, my flexibility. But then with it, all these side effects, which you were saying, slowly they started creeping up, and people realized, maybe it's not as easy as we thought it is, right? Because, like you said, being at home, not easy. Losing your freedom, not easy. Yes. After all, you gotta play a prank once in a while, right? And if you don't have that opportunity, then you feel claustrophobic a little bit, right? But
Yeah,
it's okay,
true,
man.
Pastor.
But so how do you guys really brace yourself for this challenge? Because this situation is not going to change anytime soon, right? And even if it does change, it's not completely going to go back to how it used to be. Over a period of time, the world is going to evolve to a hybrid model, and that will stay, right? That we will still have offices. Maybe we go to the office once or twice a week, meet each other, get our social fixes, do our brainstorming, and come back and work on your own, right? But that will still take some time to happen. How are you bracing yourself for this? That, at least for the foreseeable future, this is how it's going to be. So what is your mindset, your thought process in trying to maneuver through this?
So I think we were recently also having a chat about these co-working spaces. So I think that is the need for the current time, because getting stuck in home and doing the daily chores and exactly following the same routine would tend to create anxiousness in us. So I think if we start going to co-working spaces and exploring there, it might be of some help.
Okay, what about others? What do you guys think? How can you handle yourself better in this situation?
I think I have a different approach to it. My sister is also working, so we sit in a room, both of us, and both of us are working until and unless there's a meeting of the other one. Then someone has to leave the room. Apart from that, we're trying to create an environment where both of us are sitting from 9 to 5. We're trying to get in the time zone. Maybe because I recently started, so I can, I try to work late or shift with the times of working. But yeah, we're trying to create an environment at home only, wherein we are packed in a room and we both are working. So just to try to create that area of, space of working.
Yeah, that's the process and how the method that you really want to create for yourself, right? But internally, as an individual, as a professional, what is that, how are you handling this within yourself?
I believe working, talking to people about it, and working. I think internally this is only helping me, wherein I'm around with people who are working with me, so that creates a setup for you, and with a lot less distractions in terms of working from home or working remotely. So there's a lot of less distractions as compared to other things. So I'm trying to create that space around me that helps me to motivate as well towards the work.
So,
Ariman, what do you think? Yeah, go ahead, Amisha.
Yeah.
So yeah, initially when I started, I had faced this problem of overthinking about like what to do next. Have I done it correctly? So I used to like think a lot when I was sleeping. So then I tried to set a clear goal for the day. Like today I'll do this much, and then I won't think about it. So that actually helped me to get that peace in my mind that I'm actually doing my stuff, and then I have planned what I have to do next. So that helps me not to procrastinate.
Yeah, I think this is so sorry to interrupt, Ariman, but I think I'll just want to add one thing. This is one of the, I think, one of the main issues that we are all facing, because you don't know, like, I feel like, am I doing enough, or am I doing less for the day? Or is it just, the time that I've spent, is it worth it? So all these questions tend to come up. But while you're in office, and I think, I'm not sure if we'll face these same questions while we are working in office, but right now we tend to have these questions, and we don't have anyone to address to these questions. Like after work, maybe after 7 or 8, maybe we'll talk to our friends, maybe we'll talk to our colleagues when we are working in an office. But right now we don't have anyone to talk to about these situations, and no one is there to help us to upskill as well. So for instance, if I'm working with you on a project and I'm just sitting besides you, and I'm learning things on how you are doing things on maybe Excel, maybe on PowerPoint, just an example, on the things that you are doing and how much time you're taking to do those things. Maybe you're doing it in a very less time and I'm doing it the wrong way. So maybe we are not upskilling in that terms as well. Maybe we need to do more courses to be on that same platform, to be on the same pace of doing things. And I think there's a difference in the pace as well of how we are working right now.
No, this thing which you guys are talking about, I've been experiencing it all my career, called imposter syndrome. Whether you go to office, whether you work from home, the imposter syndrome, man, it will not leave you. It's like your skin. You wear it every day, and it keeps blabbering these voices in your head that, oh man, I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough. Am I really putting in the worthwhile time, effort, giving the right output? Am I the right guy for this position or not? It's a constant battle, guys. Okay, I don't think going back to office will take away this. This is going to stay. So that's one thing you will need to brace up for. And it's a lot of people, it's not us alone who go through these emotions. A lot of people go through this, so it's fine. I just learned to look at it in a positive way. Okay, that at least I'm investigating every action of mine properly. At least I'm making sure, okay, for me, it's not about, working for 12 hours a day. I'm not that kind of a person, right? But I want to make sure what I do it well, I do it right the first time, and I do things that matter, right? Right? For me, it's not about filling in those hours and being online the whole time. No, man, right? You got to find your most efficient pockets and then go, and then do what you need to do, right? So imposter syndrome is going to stay, man. So it's okay. Better for us, we make friends with it right now.
Right? And it's just fear of missing out, what we call FOMO. We are not going to office, so we think, that going to office, we can upskill ourselves or anything like that. And
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that small baby steps, if we take, like Garv said, do a course or anything, Even like moving from bed to a table and then attending meetings is a baby step for me. Interacting with everyone is a baby step, because these things probably will help me when we are actually visiting our office.
Yes, yes, yes. And you don't have to be so afraid of this transition whenever it happens, because our human mind and body are, they're highly equipped and they are very, very intelligible, right? So they can easily adapt. And the moment we step into a new environment, it's just the first couple of days, and think through your life. Any new thing which you started, new habit, new behavior, it's just the first few days, and then after that it becomes second nature. And it's no problem, right? Then it's just like, it's a coincidence that the three of you are wearing glasses. Then it's just like wearing those glasses. You don't have to really, do significant research every day. No, should I wear my glasses now? And no, it's second nature. It's unconscious competence. You're not even aware that you are doing things. Correct? So slowly we will adapt, and the transition will not be that hard, really. But Ariman, what do you think? Now, companies like us, Twimbit, and it's not that we have to shy away from it, run away from it, but we know we need to do better in some of these things for our people, right? So what can we do to help people like you guys really tide through this in a better fashion, right? Because little bit, when you have a gray beard like I do, then even dealing with stressful situations becomes a little bit easier, because you say, okay, man, I've been dealing with it all my life, so you kind of get used to it, right? But what do you think we can do better, man?
I think first of all, Twimbit is spoiling the employees by giving flexible working hours, because that is something that has disturbed my sleep schedule. Because if I work in the night, because I have the option to work in the night, so Twimbit is already wrong there by giving flexible hours, because now we don't have a 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 schedule.
Okay,
What we can
Garv
do
and
is
Nisha, are you noting? Garv and Nisha, are you noting? In your team meeting, you should put your foot down.
Ariman, you're putting
9 to
thing
5
on a wrong foot.
at home, 9 to 5, brother. Yeah. Okay, carry on.
I think what we can do is like, as the co-working space was mentioned, if like employees who are living in, suppose, the area in which I am putting up, we can have an informal discussion, meet up casually. We can talk about your beard too, if you like. So that stuff can go on. Maybe that will help us cope up better if we are meeting with the people that we are working, but casually, who lives around us.
Yeah. Those casual meetings should keep happening as things ease up, certainly, right? And as far as those co-working spaces are concerned, of course, you're all free if you need to find a co-working space. So you don't have to share the same room with your siblings, or also not disturb your family members. Go ahead, find a decent spot near your house and step out if you need to. Right? Good. What else, Amisha? What else can we do?
I think even moving to the co-working space would be a very difficult baby step, because we are like so accustomed to this relaxing and working. So even going there will require a lot of effort.
Well, it's yeah, but somewhere we will have to make that step, right? And it sounds so difficult right now. I know exactly what you're saying, because overall during this period the socializing has gone down so much, and that's going to be one side effect when the offices reopen again. The first challenge, even though we are excited about going back to office, but just the interactivity again amongst people is going to take a hit at the beginning, because of this specific reason, Amisha, because we are not tuned in that way anymore, right? I've been cutting down on my meeting friends, even if people are having small get-togethers at home, 5 people, 6 people, I always say, oh man, forget it. what's the point, right? Right? I don't want to dress up and then step out of it. It's gonna happen, but hey, it's part of it, man. We'll get through it, right? Okay, good. Garv, what else can we do better, man?
Yeah, I think mentorship from people who have been in that situation, and maybe in terms of what kind of work we are doing, and what things that we need to improve on, and what things we are good at. Maybe mentorship regarding that particular thing from someone in the team, or maybe from someone who is the head of our team. So I think that would improve our contribution towards the team as well, and towards the end goal. So yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, adding on to Garv's point, I think there should be some set time, like after 3 months or after 6 months, there would be a learning graph discussion of an individual employee with the team, so that maybe the employee can themselves say what they have learned and what changes they have seen in the period of 3 months or in the period of 6 months, so that even the companies know what the other side is achieving and what they are expecting of them.
Good suggestion there. Yeah, we need to bring these into the picture over here, right? Okay, very good. Any questions anybody has for me at this point?
Yeah, I'll go for one. We have talked about the challenges that we are facing, not networking or say communication gap, etc. The challenges we'll face when we are joining in the offices. So you being in the industry, what you feel, how can we overcome those challenges in our initial days when we join the office?
Like I said, there are two things primarily, in my opinion, which people are struggling with in this remote work era. Okay, while it provides us all the flexibility and all the freedom to do as I please, what am I really struggling with? Two things. One is this interactivity with people, which we already talked about, and it's going to be hard. So when you go back, being able to enter somebody's bubble, so to speak, being able to, just break that veil on the outside is going to be difficult. Okay, because I experienced that for my own self. I've created those invisible walls outside me. I'm not letting in too many people right now, man. Okay, and that's how a lot of people feel. So for you to get through to people, you will have to break that icing first of all. Okay, that's going to be first challenge. Second thing which we are struggling with in the remote era is having great brainstorming conversations. There was a research done where they said, see, you also alluded to it, Amisha, that we do work meetings, etc. Meetings can be of many types, right? We can have work meetings, review meetings, learning meetings, career mapping, whatever, 25 different types of meetings. What is the hardest meeting to conduct in the remote setup? Brainstorming. Hardest one. Why? People are feeling like this. Who has their creative juices flowing at the maximum? Not too many people. Then creativity takes a hit because the mind is not fully open, man. Because I'm boxed, because I'm closed. So the ideas don't flow freely. Correct? These are the two things which at least I see the world is suffering from. Okay, which is symptomatic of the remote era. When you go back, Aryaman, of course, after you get through to people, then engaging them in meaningful brainstorming. Okay, guys, let's ideate together, because we are losing that habit of ideating together now. We are cultivating a habit very strongly about doing things, about making sure we are all aligned on our tasks. We are doing that well, but the actual ideating, whether it's about my future career, whether it's about, hey, how can I overcome this situation, whether it's just general chit chat, right? All kinds of ideations. That will be the second thing, Aryaman. which we will have to really focus on when we go back. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. And do you think if we move out, can we break the monotony and open our creative minds if we are coming to the offices?
Yes. Like, it's just, here's the thing, man. We all sleep in our home, in our beds most nights, correct? But sometimes you could sleep in a hotel room or in a friend's house, but you're still able to sleep okay, no? Maybe the first hour you're getting used to the pillow, getting used to the mattress, this, that, because it's different, but then you sleep fine. Same thing. Anything new that we move to, we are capable of handling it, okay? But the mistake we will make, which will be our downfall, is if we wait to make this change, when the office is open. We don't have to wait till that time, because then we are training our mind more and more to be in the current situation, and we are saying, okay, man, I will wait when office happens, maybe after 1 year, maybe after 2 years, whatever it is, then I will do that. By that time, you make it very hard for yourself to break this habit, because you've trained your mind this way. So this is what we have to realize. I don't have to wait for that. How can I start imbibing those small practices right now? Like you guys said, baby steps. Hey, what are those small things which I can do? Maybe the kid on the street right outside my house, maybe my little sister, anybody, maybe my grandfather, anybody, but where can I start this creative cycle in my head right now, right? And it's a training, practicing a habit, so that when I go, then I can assimilate easily in that environment. So I think you guys have the least to worry about when you go back to offices, because that's going to be your first time. You're going to be full of excitement. It will be more difficult for people like us, because yes, it has its benefits going back, but it also has its downsides going back, just like anything in life, So it'll be, that's why, since we've tasted both the benefits and the setbacks of the office world, it'll be a little more harder for us to go back than for you, I think. Yeah, because
and for us, it will be hard to believe that it will be difficult for you guys. We'll always say that it's difficult for us. And yes, and the fact that we are correlating our creativity when we get back to the office or when we go to the office, and that is not allowing us to break the monotony. And I think this was an eye-opener for me, that I have to start challenging myself within the day that I'm sitting at home.
Yeah. You got to find those things, and it's helped me a lot, guys, over the last 12 months. I tell you, I still make sure, in my society where I stay, I just step outside my door, even if it's whoever I find, a little kid, a security guard, a milkman, whatever, right? I sit, I have a chat, man. What's going on? How are you dealing with this situation? What's going on, right? What are you learning, not learning? And I hear stories all the time. Even, okay, you say you started your career in this era. Think about those children who are starting their school in this era, who got enrolled for the first time in their classes since 2020. They have never experienced a classroom. Their first classroom is a mobile phone. And they really don't know if this is education or something else is education. And their parents are telling me that, man, when this kid was born, for the first 3 years, we kept them away from the phone. But now, because the classes are happening here, they are on the damn phone more than we are. So, there's a lot happening, right? So, and just conversations, I didn't realize this also, but then talking to somebody, they shared this pain with me. I said, oh, man, right? So just having those chats really opens me up, and then this is what keeps me going. So I think You're bang on, Ariman. Take those opportunities wherever you can and make a dent, man. It's fine. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, good. I think we're approaching time over here. So, any final message for your friends who are going to enter the work stream soon? You know, people who are looking for their first jobs now. What would your message be? Hey, what would your best advice be for them? That how can they handle themselves best in this situation?
I think my message would be it is great to work remotely. There are a few pros and cons, and that is there in working from office as well. But just don't get in that comfort zone, because if you get in that particular area of your comfort zone, it's really hard to get out of it. So enjoy working from home, enjoy working remotely, but yeah, don't settle for that. You have to move on, and you have to learn a lot of things during your journey.
Good.
Yes, and if given an option, work remotely, as in move away from your home, go to another city, another place, and then start working. That will be the best, I think. And second thing is, like Garv mentioned, that we have to keep challenging ourselves. Like besides work, have a good individual routine where you're doing anything or working out, yoga or anything that keeps you like sane going on. Because work is something that you'll have to do. Besides that is something that creates an impact.
Very good. Yes. And that's where we have to be a juggler. I've been telling you guys earlier also, even in this remote situation, whether it's my hobbies, whether it's things I want to learn, my work, my family, my health, everything you got to juggle, right? Keep everything afloat, man. Don't let anything drop, right? So, Ariman, when are you getting your tickets booked, man, for remote work?
I think the company should sponsor me this time, no? Should spoil the employees more.
So, you already said Twimbit is spoiling you, so we don't want to spoil you anymore, man.
I shouldn't have said that earlier. I missed on a ticket, man. But soon, yes, soon. As soon as I get an opportunity, working remotely is something that is on my list.
Yes, it's very good. Mine too, brother. Yeah. Okay, Misha, what is your message for the income?
Yeah, so I think like for the people who are just starting with it, first experience like leave a deep impact. So I think they should choose wisely before joining in, whether they should join or not, because if they don't get a good first experience, I think that will stay with them. And also I would like to suggest that there should be a balance between work and life, as Ariman said. So we should try to take regular breaks, go out in the weekend since things are gradually opening up. So just take small breaks, small weekend outings. That actually helps in increasing the productivity in the coming week.
Awesome, guys. When we conceptualized this chat, I thought we were going to have a fun conversation, but this ended up being a very deep one, and giving a lot of great thoughts, and then triggering a lot of emotions. So I think it's been incredible in that sense. So thank you guys for your thoughts, for your time. And I'm sure you'll be able to ride this tide very well. And cheers to remote work then. Yes? Thank you for joining. Catch you soon.
Thank you, Pasi, for having us.
Thank you so much.
Cheers to remote working.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.